Today we're talking about why the Nintendo Switch Lite is a retro gaming machine. Alright guys, so starting off, I chose the Nintendo Switch Lite because it is the cheaper of the two. So currently the OLED Switch is $350. If you can find a regular Switch, they're $300. This one is $200. And you can usually find them used for about $140, $150. So for that price point, this thing is a retro gaming machine. Now the reason I say that, guys, is on the Nintendo Switch Online service, you have access to the NES, the original Nintendo, and it has games such as Super Mario Bros. 3. It has actually all the Super Mario Bros. Games. It has Zelda, the original Zelda, Metroid. It even has Earthbound Beginnings, I believe it is, and a huge selection of other games like Double Dragon, Dr. Mario, NES Open, Star Tropics, just an insane amount of NES games. Alright guys, and if NES isn't your thing, there's also the Super Nintendo Online system, and that has a lot of games as well. So some of the more notable ones are Super Mario World, we got The Legend of Zelda, Link to the Past, we got Donkey Kong Country, we got Earthbound, such a great game. Just a lot of classics, guys. So games like Super Soccer, we got different Kirby games. We got even Mario Picross, which I think is a Japanese exclusive. There's Yoshi's Island, Super Metroid, Punch-Out. And guys, all these games are available on your Switch Lite portable. Huge library. Now guys, the reason I chose the Switch Lite is because it is cheaper. You can get one for $140 to $150 used. You can do all this on a full-size Switch. You can. It's just you get the most bang for your buck, in my opinion, on a Switch. Next up, we do have Game Boy. So a lot of Game Boy games. This one was introduced not too long ago, so the library isn't as big as the NES and Super NES. I'm still hoping they add Pokemon games. That would be so awesome if they added Pokemon games. But for the time being, there are games like The Legend of Zelda, Oracle of Ages, Oracle of Seasons. There's The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Deluxe, Metroid 2, Return of Samus. We got Super Mario Land 2, which is one of my top favorite Super Mario games of all time. If you guys saw that video, I think it was 9 on my list on top 10. Anyways, we got Kirby's Dream Land and Wario Land 3, Tetris. So again, this one's kind of newer, so there's still not as many games. I think they try to release games periodically, so not a huge selection of Game Boy games, but still super awesome that we have some on there. So definitely recommend that. Alright guys, the next one is kind of a curveball. You probably wouldn't expect this from Nintendo, but you could probably see on my TV in the background we got some Sonic and Knuckles playing in there. So there is a Sega Genesis console on the online membership as well, which is super awesome. I grew up playing the Sega Genesis. I probably played it more than Nintendo because it was available to me. That's one of my top favorite games, Sonic and Knuckles. That one is not available yet on the online system, but I'm hoping it does soon. Some of the games that are available are Sonic 2. We got Alien Soldier, Shining Force 2, Toe Jam and Earl, which is an amazing game. Games like Golden Axe, which if you haven't played Golden Axe is amazing. Kind of a side scroller beat 'em up, and just kind of like medieval time-ish. You can like ride dragons or dinosaurs or whatever they are. There's games like Rise Star, which if you're a collector, you know some of these games are very, very expensive. So to be able to play them like this is amazing. And then we have Streets of Rage, which is my absolute #1 favorite beat 'em up side scroller. If you haven't played that game, this is your chance to play some of these games. Of course, we got Castlevania and Gunstar Heroes. All great games, guys. All super great games. Amazing that you can play these on the system. Again, all this is handheld portable and available to you on the Switch Lite with the online service. So once again, just reinforcing the idea that that this is a retro gaming machine. And I know there's a lot of game systems out there that are like emulators and things like that. This one, all it requires is a yearly membership. I think it's $50. And when you break it down for the amount of stuff you're getting, it's not bad. Some of these games alone, one of these games alone, if you're trying to buy it, if all you're trying to do is play and you have to go out there and buy the system, all that, it adds up very quickly. So $50 a year gets you. All right, next up is one of my favorites. We got the Game Boy Advance player. So this Nintendo Switch Lite is also a Game Boy Advance. I grew up playing the Game Boy Advance so much. That's actually where I played Super Mario Bros. 3 the most. A lot of the remakes that they came out with, the Game Boy Advance was kind of a portable Super Nintendo. And I love the Game Boy Advance. So there is a Game Boy Advance on the Nintendo Switch Lite. There is games like Metroid Fusion, which is one of the best games, best Metroid games of all time, and very expensive. So again, reinforcing the fact that if all you want to do is play these games, you don't necessarily are searching to collect them or whatever the case is. This is a good alternative for you. There's also games like Fire Emblem. There's the Super Mario Advance series, which are remakes of the original. So we got Super Mario Advance, which I believe is Super Mario Bros. 2. There's Super Mario World, Yoshi's Island, games like The Legend of Zelda Minish Camp, which is awesome. Mario Kart Super Circuit, which I love. Super Mario Bros. 3, which has the updated colors from the All-Star series. And there's even Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, which is an amazing RPG, guys. Amazing RPG. Great game to play on here. You got some of the gameplay there. Again, Super Mario Kart Super Circuit. Amazing game. I love Mario Kart Super Circuit. So once again, that's one more system that you can play online on the Nintendo Switch Lite. Alright guys, last but not least, there is the highly anticipated Nintendo 64 console. So you have a Nintendo 64 at the palm of your hands here. And again, this one released not too long ago, so there's still a lot of games left to be added. But you can play Ocarina of Time. That's such an amazing game. Super Mario 64, amazing game. We got Banjo-Kazooie, amazing game. Kirby the Crystal Shards, GoldenEye 007. Who remember playing this with your friends, throwing the little mines and playing that game? So another classic. There's games like Mario Tennis. I love Mario Tennis on the Nintendo 64. I remember playing that one at the kiosk. So I didn't grow up having it. I have it now, but the kiosk like at Walmart used to have Mario Tennis 64. I love that game. So you got Yoshi's Story, Star Fox 64, Mario Kart 64. Look how cool that is. You can play that. And again, this is the Nintendo Switch Lite, but if you ever played on the TV, couch co-op on Mario Kart 64, man. Anyways, there's still a lot to games they can potentially add. I'm sure they'll be adding more. But a Nintendo 64 at the palm of your hands, that's amazing right there, guys. Now, guys, I try to stay away from rumors. I haven't heard anything about GameCube coming to Nintendo Switch Lite or anything like that. But if you wanted to cheat a little bit, there is also Super Mario 3D All-Stars that came out during the 35th anniversary of Super Mario. And you can play Super Mario Sunshine with this or like Super Mario Galaxy. The only Mario game that you can't really play on the Switch Lite is Mario Galaxy 2. So every other game is either on the online service or has been ported in one way or another, pretty much. As far as the main franchise games, but Super Mario Galaxy 2 is one of the ones you can't really play. But if you wanted to play Mario Galaxy, you can. You'd have to pick up Super Mario 3D All-Stars, which is a 3-in-1 game, which is pretty amazing. So Super Mario 64 is on the online system. You don't have to buy that one. It just comes with it. But if you want to play like Mario Sunshine or Mario Galaxy, you can pick up this game and also play it doing that. All in all, guys, the Nintendo Switch Lite is an amazing little console, especially for the price point. So I bought actually this one used from an online, one of my friends online. His name is Dad's Video Games, and I'll link him below. He gave me a great deal on this, and I think I paid $140 for it. This was probably maybe maybe even almost 3 years ago. I bought it for my daughter. She uses it for Animal Crossing. So if you're new to it, if you're thinking about picking up something like a Switch Lite, or you're not trying to spend as much money, this game alone can get you like 200 hours worth of gameplay. My daughter has put so many hours in here, and I've helped her. You can easily get lost in this game. So anyways, if you're looking for something, maybe if you're new to the gaming scene and want to start off with something, you're trying to make your decision, and maybe you don't want to spend an arm and a leg, the Switch Lite is the way to go. Highly recommend it, and you will not be disappointed. I promise you that. Alright guys, that does it for me today. Quick little episode. Just wanted to talk about one of my favorite little consoles. If you guys would do me a favor, drop me a comment. Maybe let me know what your favorite retro game is, or what your favorite game on the Switch is. Subscribe, and until next time, peace out.